welcome to our next healthy cooking video. And today we're going to use a Crockpot again, just like we did last week with the turkey, but we're going to do a pot roast. Now, I know a lot of people think when they're trying to eat healthy, they got to stick to fish or some type of poultry. We try to eat beef probably once a week. It's really good for your iron. My mother-in-law and my wife both need more iron in their diet, so we try to find different ways to do it. But we also, again, when wintertime, we want to find a really nice, delicious, healthy meal that also kind of warms you up, makes you feel like it's that late fall, early winter season. So we're gonna do a pot roast in the Crockpot. Super simple, just a few ingredients. In just a second, I'll show you what we have, show you how we put the whole thing together, and then we're gonna cook this at low heat for the next 8 to 10 hours. So it's 7:30 in the morning. We're starting now because this might take until 6 o'clock. It could be done at 4. So you want to do is you want to give yourself a 2-hour window of how you want to set this up. And I'll show you the vegetables that I like to use when I'm doing this, and I'll show you how we kind of use them in the Crockpot. So I'll be back with you in just a second, show you the ingredients and show you how to put this whole thing together. Alright, so we got our ingredients here. So we have our carrots. We're just going to cut the tops off of these. We're going to leave them whole. Same with our red potatoes. We're not going to half them or anything. We're going to put them in the Crockpot, let them cook that way the whole time. We have our turnip. We've got about a 3-pound pot roast. We're going to sear this in just a second. I'll show you how we do that. We got a little bit of canola oil. We're going to use a package of dry onion soup over the top, beef broth, and some salt and pepper. So I'm going to season the pot roast. I'm going to get the pan nice and hot. I'm going to sear it. It'll take about 2 to 3 minutes per side. And then we want to try to sear the outside as well. That's going to enrich that flavor, make sure it's nice and deep while you're cooking it. And then we'll get everything put into the Crockpot. So again, we'll add about 1.5 cups of that beef stock. We're going to use that dried onion mix, and then we'll add all of our veggies. It'll literally just go in for the next 8 to 10 hours, and we'll show you what it looks like towards the end. Okay, we've got our oil in our pan. We've turned on our Crockpot on low for 10 hours. We're going to add a little bit of the beef broth in there now. And then what I'll do is, you can see I've seasoned one side of the pot roast. What I like to do is to kind of keep this simple and not dirty up another dish or make it more complicated for myself, is season one side, and then when I'm searing the other side, I'll season that side that we didn't do yet. So we're going to add our beef broth in. Again, nice and easy. You want to layer on the bottom. This is important because this is going to be the liquid for our pot roast as it cooks, but this is also going to be the liquid we use at the end to make our gravy, to give us some more flavor. So you can see we're starting to get some good heat. Again, if you're unsure, if you can put your hand over it for about 3 or 4 seconds, it should give you a good indication that it's hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in, season side down, and again, our focus is going to be to get a good sear on this. You can hear that right away. Nice. So we're going to take our coarse salt. We're going to salt this side. Now, when people season big cuts of meat like this, they're sometimes a little hesitant to use enough salt. You want a lot of salt on here. This is going to absorb it. It's a big cut of meat. Same thing when we use our black pepper. We want to make sure we get a really nice season on the outside here. This is all going to put into seasoning along with that dried onion soup for the whole cook. So I'm going to sear this up. We'll let it cook again 2 to 3 minutes per side. When we're done, we'll put it in the Crockpot. I'll show you that in just a second. And how we finish up the rest of it. When you sear your meat, this is what you want to look for. You want to look for that golden brown crust on the outside. That's key. Again, we're not trying to cook through with this. We just want that really nice crust. It's going to lock in that flavor, and as everything cooks, it's going to let those juices out as it goes through. And now we've kind of caramelized that salt and the pepper that's on there. So again, we're just adding richer, deeper flavors in everything we do. Because like we said, salt and pepper on the roast itself, the beef broth, and then the dry onion soup is really going to be all the seasoning that we use. You don't need a ton more. The veggies are going to add a bunch of flavor in there. But again, it's really important to get that good hard sear on the outside. Now, if you haven't done a pot roast before, most of the time they will have trusted it with this twine, which is fine. You can leave that in there. You just want to make sure you take that out when you're cooking it, because it's going to shred. When it's done, you want to cook this until it's full tender and it's full apart. You won't be cutting the roast like this, you'll be shredding this roast. And again, as you can see, when you're trying to sear the outside, you've got both sides seared. You just want to turn it with a set of tongs, put it on the heat for here. We're just about done searing it. We're going to get it into the pot here in just a second. Alright, our roast is in the pot. Super simple. We're just literally going to take this dry onion soup and we're going to sprinkle it right over the top here. And then now I'm going to cut up my vegetables and get them put in here. And again, this whole thing's just going to cook for the next 8 to 10 hours. We're gonna leave it alone. It's just that easy. I think people want to make it more complicated. We do want the dry mix on here. The moisture in the pot will actually, work in there. We don't want to mix it into the broth. We want to put it right on top. Again, we're a really nice seasoned flavor in here. We're gonna add our carrots, our turnip, and our potatoes, and like I said, the whole thing will be done in the next few hours. So I'm gonna get those veggies ready. I'll put them in there, put the top on. I'll show you what that looks like, and then we'll come back and see you around sometime between 4 and 6 o'clock tonight. All right, so our dinner's been cooking for the last 8.5 hours. It looks like everything's done. Our carrots are done, our potatoes, meat looks nice and tender. We're gonna make a little bit of gravy here in a second, so we'll kind of have the au jus that we'll have in the bowl with the pot roast, but we'll also make a gravy we can put over the top of it. So I'll show you that in just a second, and we'll show you the finished product. All right, so we have our finished dinner here. We have our pot roast. Again, what you want to look for is it pull apart tender. Clearly it is. That's what we're looking for. Delicious after cooking all day. Really nice. That tissue breaks down. It gets really soft. It's just really easy to eat. We have our potatoes, our carrots. We made a quick little easy gravy like we did last time using the stock with a little bit of flour, so everything's ready to go. So again, for a little something different, we have an option of doing something with a pot roast, instead of turkey or fish like we usually do. So we got about 12 or 13 points here. We'll add a little bit of the gravy. So, nice healthy dinner, something to keep you warm on a cold New England night. Like we always say on Mayhem Fitness, thank you for checking us out. Please hit that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We have new videos coming all the time. You have a great day.